round the world voyage comes to grief, leaving the crew victims of shipwreck. The film at 2:05. Tonight in 10 minutes, Songs of Praise links Trafalgar Square with Tonga. And that's after the news now from Moira, Stuart. And the time is 6:25.
Three children safe and well after a gun siege at their London home. Christmas presents for the missing Hertfordshire schoolgirl still unopened. Triumph in Melbourne as England's cricketers retain the Ashes. A man has been found dead after a 7-hour siege at a house in London. Armed police rescued unharmed 3 young children and another man shortly before they discovered the body. The incident happened at Thamesmead in southeast London. It's believed the dead man shot himself.
Police sealed off a large area of the Thamesmead estate after shots were heard in the house where a 30-year-old woman lived with her 3 young children. It's understood her former boyfriend returned in the early hours of this morning, and when he found another man there, a fight ensued. The woman escaped to safety, but for almost 7 hours, armed police surrounded the house, believing the gunman was barricaded in the kitchen. The children remained upstairs with the other man. Police eventually led them to safety down a ladder from the bathroom window. In the kitchen, they found the body of a man with head wounds. A shotgun lay beside him. The children, aged 3, 6 and 9, were taken to hospital for checkups, but were clearly none the worse for their ordeal.
They're okay. They slept through quite a lot of it, fortunately, upstairs. They were in one of the upstairs bedrooms. They slept through it. They're not harmed in any way. They saw it as a bit of an adventure, I suppose, you know, as children will. So they don't really realise the seriousness of it.
Police will tonight question regulars at the pub where missing schoolgirl Samantha Ettridge was drinking on Christmas Eve, the night she disappeared. It's feared Samantha, who's 17, was abducted after catching a minicab to take her home. She's rung her parents twice since then, and police say she was clearly distressed. Today, at her home in Cheshunt in Hertfordshire, her parents told Sam Jaffa of their fears for their daughter's safety.
Samantha's unopened Christmas presents await her return. Her parents appeal to their daughter's abductor to let her go.
As time's going on, we're getting very, very worried and very distraught. All her friends are very worried and upset. And if he could find some way of just leaving her so that she could either ring us to be collected, or if the police could collect her, if he could just leave her somewhere.
What sort of girl is Sammy? Bubbly, lively personality, and also with a practical, common sense approach to life.
So do you feel that she could handle this situation?
Yes, indeed. It's more of a comfort than the phone calls, knowing what sort of a child she was, that she could handle such a thing and be in control.
The former Israeli nuclear technician, accused of giving details of Israel's nuclear weapons plant to a British newspaper, has appeared in court in Jerusalem today, at the start of his trial. Mordecai Vanunu pleaded not guilty to charges of treason and espionage. Security was intense when Vanunu was taken to and from the court as the police ensured that he couldn't communicate with journalists from the prison van. Last week he passed on a message saying he had been kidnapped by the Israelis in Rome. The trial is expected to continue in 6 weeks' time. And during a demonstration at Ramallah on the West Bank, Israeli soldiers shot and wounded 2 Palestinian students who had been throwing stones. Both had to be taken to hospital. One was hit in the hip and the other was hit in the knee when they refused to obey an order to halt. 2 sisters have been killed in a fire at their home in Gloucestershire. They were trapped upstairs when the fire broke out at the cottage in Nailsworth last night. The girls, aged 15 and 4, have been named as Lucy and Osith Malone. Firemen say their father, John Malone, tried to reach them first by the stairs and then using a ladder outside the house. He saved his son, but couldn't get to the girls. The family only moved into the house a few days ago. It's thought a faulty gas heater may have caused the blaze. The SDP leader, Dr. David Owen, has predicted that there will be a general election within 4 months, and he says it will result in a coalition government because no party will win an overall majority. Dr. Owen said in his New Year message that he thinks a majority of voters would find that a coalition suited them better. In Melbourne, England have retained the Ashes after beating Australia in just 3 days. With 1 test remaining, England have an unbeatable 2-0 lead in the series. In the second innings, Australia were out for 194, giving England victory by an innings and 14 runs.
England badly wanted a breakthrough early on, and Boone obligingly provided it, caught by Mike Gatting. It was turning into a day to remember for the England captain as Jones supplied him with another chance. Border, again stuck with the role of Australia's saviour, was for once miscast, caught by Embry. Marsh was the man proving hard to dislodge, and he had some escapes. If you're English, this hit the glove. Australian, the arm. The umpire opted for the latter and said not out. Marsh then set about his own downfall, a suicidal run, and he was gone for 60. Matthews tried the pad to Embry and only succeeded in playing on. There was no mistaking England's keenness in the field, as everyone wanted to get their hands on the ball. The Australians seemed hell-bent on making the worst of their plight. Sleep this time run out. The rest collapsed. The last wicket, that of Hughes, caught by man of the match Gladstone Small. Australia with little left to hold on to. The Ashes safe in English hands.
We won the toss. We hoped to bowl them out for about 250, but we got them out for 140, and the lads batted well, and then today we just bowled and everything went right, so it's tremendous.
There were 3 Division 1 football matches played this afternoon. Charlton thrashed Manchester City 5-0 to move off the bottom. Everton beat Leicester 5-1 to stay in second place, and Nottingham Forest and Luton drew 2-2. The Duke of Edinburgh has been to see Ely Cathedral in Cambridgeshire. It was his first visit since he became patron of the cathedral's £4 million appeal to save the 12th century building from permanent damage caused by pollution and Death Watch beetle. Wearing a royal blue boiler suit, Prince Philip was taken to see the parts where repairs are to start next month. So far, they've raised £3 million, which includes a donation from the Queen. The Dutch have failed in an elaborate attempt to break a world record. They set up 1.25 million dominoes and tried to knock them down with a single push. Only 750,000 fell on cue, but it still delighted the crowd. That's all for now. Our main news on BBC One is at 10:15.